I'm Dr. Marty Becker, America's veterinarian.
And I'm training expert Mikkel Becker. Collars are more than a fashion statement. They're basic pet protection for cats and dogs. And for dogs, they're a training tool. Let's start with cats. All cats need is a collar with an ID tag, even indoor ones, because sometimes they can slip out. In the shelters, we see so many cats who are clearly someone's pet, but without an ID or microchip, they're rarely reunited, and that's a tragedy.
Because cats can get themselves in some jams, it's best to use a collar that they can get out of if they need to. Some have breakaway buckles, and others are completely elastic, like this elastic collar. These safety features mean there is no excuse not to put a collar on your cat.
And neither you nor your cat will lack for fashionable choices. There are hundreds.
With dogs, you have more choices and more issues. Before you choose a collar, you need to make sure you're not going to be hurting your pet. Some dogs, especially small dogs, are prone to tracheal collapse, and they should be walked with a harness, not a collar. In these dogs, the rings of the cartilage that keep the airways open are weak. When the dog gets excited or the collar pulls against the neck, these airways become constricted. The result is coughing and gagging that can be frightening for both the dog and the owner. The condition takes care of itself shortly, but to help prevent reoccurrence, use a halter with a leash, not a collar.
As a dog trainer, I never use a slip or choke collar. These collars have always been difficult to use and can be dangerous as a result. Even the pinch or prong collar isn't a good choice for people. Today, there are simply better choices when training a dog to walk on leash. Ask your veterinarian for a recommendation to a trainer or behaviorist who can help you choose the right training equipment for your dog and how to use it.
For most dogs, everyday wear should be a flat collar with a snap or a buckle. Fitted so you can get one finger for small dogs or two fingers for big dogs between the skin and the collar, but not so loose that the collar can slip over the dog's head. And don't forget an ID tag with current information, ideally your cell phone number.
Some people use head halters and front clip harnesses for walking their dogs, and I like these a lot and recommend them in my classes. They're like power steering for your dogs.
Make sure though that you don't use them with a real type leash to maintain good control and prevent injury. I call that like trying to fly a 747 with a kite string.
And what about breakaway collars for dogs? If you have more than one dog and they like to wrestle, these can be lifesavers. They prevent one dog's collar from hooking on the teeth of another dog. Definitely worth considering.
One final thing to consider is that it's easy for a collar to slip off or be removed, especially with cats, which is why even though your pets need collars and ID tags, they should also have a microchip. They're relatively inexpensive and quickly inserted by your veterinarian.
There have never been more choices in collars than you can find now, but the first choice is the most important. Get one on your pet today.
For more information on caring for your pet, go to vetstreet.com.